welcome to Never Met a Stranger Whispers of Wisdom. Today I have with me Miss Akira and Miss La Sierra. How you girls doing today?
We're good.
Thank you for coming out in the rain.
Yeah. It had us, but we're here.
Yes. So I met Akira in my Lyft car.
Random.
And so, like I always say, I meet a lot of my guests in my Lyft car, and they're usually a stranger. So we just got to talking, and she was telling me that she went to LA with your journalism. You practicing, you in school for journalism at UWM. And I just thought that was so amazing that she went to LA to look at the fires. They did like reporting with the fires. And so tell me a little bit about you first, Akira, just a little bit about your background, and then we'll go into how La Sierra came along. That's her best friend, you guys. And she said, well, she does the same thing, and she come with me. And I said, of course she can. So that's why I have two guests today, which is nice. So,
yes.
Akira, give me a little bit about your background here.
So I'm from Milwaukee, born and raised. I'm 22, come from a family of women, 3. It's me, my sister, and my mom. Oh, I have a dog, Nicholas. So he's the only boy that's allowed with us. Yeah.
Same as me.
The high school, the elementary school I went to was St. Peter Emmanuel, but I also went to a high school called Dr. Howard Fuller Collegiate Academy, which some people might know about that.
Yes,
I went there. I went there, and I am now a junior at UWM studying journalism to become a news anchor at one of these stations. Someone having me. Yeah.
That is so nice. And you said you wanted to be an actor.
Yes, I wanted to be an actor and a lawyer. I want to be a lot of things. I just know, I want to be a front in the media and stuff like that. But journalism caught me.
Nice. All right, let's see. Am I pronouncing it right?
Yeah, you can just say Sierra, though.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Basically the same as her.
Okay.
I am 20 years old. I'm a junior at UWM. I went to St. Peter Emmanuel with her, but I went to Vincent first for high school, and then I went to Milwaukee Lutheran. I come from a 2-parent household.
Okay.
No, a little rare, but yeah, I come from that.
Nice. Siblings?
Yeah, it's 6 of us.
It's 6 of you guys. Yeah. And so your mom and dad, they're still together?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So that's maybe something we could talk about as far as your views maybe on future relationships.
Yeah.
Because she came from all women. It's just as I did. My grandfather raised me, but I came from, it was just me, my mom, and my sister. And then you still have both your parents, and you have a large family with 5 siblings. So maybe we can touch on that just to see the difference, how we think, futuristically. Okay, so you guys tell me, I want to know, and the viewers, I'm sure they want to know, did you go to LA as well?
No.
You didn't go. So when we were talking in the Lyft car, you were telling me that you went and they paid for everything for you, right?
Yeah, so the school provided money, provided, only thing we have to bring was spending money and stuff, for food, everything. Okay. They provided the money, they provided everything with that, the plane tickets, the rental car, and everything. We went down there, it was 8 of us that got selected to interview with just random people around LA. Basically, we wanted to get in depth with the more inner city people, because they haven't heard their stories. We always hear the outside broad and everything like that. Right. So we want to get deeper into there. So we went personally up to people around the Palisades in LA. We went to Malibu, and we just talked to different people around there about their situation and how they're dealing with that, and how the media is their perspective on how the media is presenting them. And we got a couple views and everything like that. It's coming out. I'm not going to tell you a little bit because we got a big old story coming out with that.
Okay.
So it's going to come.
So you can't tell me.
Not too much, because they're just going to be spoiling it, and they don't want to do that. But we got to have.
They're not going to say my
Yeah, yes. But it's going to be it's going to be a little bit of it, just the different places we went to. I'm going to just say this. We talked to the sheriff. We talked to We talked to the CEO of the forestry with the inmates and everything like that. We talked to them. But yeah, and we talk to a lot of homeless people and just rich people as well. It's just a big variety of people we talk to and different perspectives. Yeah. And I'm just excited for you guys to see what's coming on.
So when is it gonna come on?
So at the end of May. So school semester is in May. So everything will be finished because we have another story that we're gonna collaborate with for North Carolina fires. That just like recently happened. So we're gonna go down there and then do some reporting over there, and then we're gonna collaborate it together.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we should be done in May, like end of May. Everything.
Nice. Let me ask you this. So when you went there, can you tell me how it looked? Like we saw it on TV. Yeah. So you actually went there and you saw how the LA fires like just tore up the cities and the homes and things like that. What kind of feeling did you have when you were there, and what did it actually look like up in person and close?
When I got there, at first we were driving past. The whole area was filled with army. Like it was like combat. Everything was blocked off. We had to have our guest pass or press pass to have with us to get even into the neighborhood. Because it was just like strictly army. The National Guard was there. Oh, wow. Everything, it was a lot going on. Everything was just shut down basically. So we was going through there. All we were seeing was just like bird houses all around. It was really like devastating because all these families have lost their homes and everything like that. You would see people. All you seen was like construction people, contractors out there because they're trying to like get the money from the houses and everything. A lot of insurance signs, a lot of help ministry people out there. Yeah. So you don't really see a lot of the people because they had to evacuate, and we saw a couple people coming back to their homes and just standing out there. We talked to them about it. It was really devastating for them. Some people don't have homes to go back to or don't have homes, even though like they say, y'all think we have all this money and stuff like that, but we were dropped from their people were dropped from their insurance. It was a lot going on with that. So they have like second homes, but some people don't have second homes. We spoke to this man who actually came from a home that was rich, and now he's homeless, living in his car. So it was really sad, and he was just driving around Malibu with his little dog, older man. Yeah, it was really sad, but that story really like broke my heart. Yeah, because it's like anything can happen so fast. Like you can have everything, and then you just lose everything, especially in that area. Like it's so beautiful, and it's gone now. Like so that was really sad. It was weird because it was like the fire was hitting like every other house. It was a house that was beautiful and big, and then another house it was just burned down, completely burnt down. And I was like, that's so like weird. So
what do you think that was just like the wind?
I mean, because they were having strong winds. Right. They did say they was having strong winds before the fire happened. So probably the strong winds like contribute to it bouncing in different places. But it was one point where I looked over we was on the mountain. I looked over the whole neighborhood. It just burned down, like rows and rows of neighborhood grocery stores. You can see the aisles in the grocery stores just burnt down. It was really sad. And then the air quality there is like really bad.
So
it's still bad.
When did you go there?
We went there the 25th of April, I believe. We went there the 24th through the 28th. I'm not April, February. I said April. We leave in April for that. February 24th through the 28th. We were there that whole week. And when we went there, it was like, because I think the fires happened in the beginning of January. I think it happened January 7th. And then we went there February 24th to the 28th, and it was still bad air quality there. We woke up one morning, all we smelled was burnt rubber. Yes, it was really bad. So
did you have to wear something? I know you had to wear something special, but just besides the mask.
Yeah, we had to wear like the K5 mask or Flickr mask or something like that. It was really big. It was like around here, and I even like when I was down there, I have bad allergies naturally, but when I went down there, it was really terrible because of like the air quality and everything. Yeah. So it was like how people can live like that. I don't know. It's really crazy.
So So let me ask both of you guys. So what made you want to go into journalism? Like you just like did you were you on the debate team? Did you just like to talk?
Actually, I also never seen myself as like a regular girl. I always see myself as like an actor. Girl, like somebody in the entertainment business, like because I also love music. Yeah, but I'm like really good at writing. Yeah, so I was always gonna do something with writing, and my dad's like, you should just do something simple like English teaching, so that if that doesn't work out, you have something to fall back on. Right. But then I came here, and she was like, "Oh, I don't even like." Not to be like I don't like kids, but like me and with teaching, it just wouldn't have worked out. So then she knew I didn't like that, and then she told me her major, and I'm like, oh wow, they really don't promote like majors like that. You don't really hear people walking around saying, oh, I'm a journalist, I do journalism. Right. And then I seen this, it was like a reality TV show where she was super young, like interning for Vogue, and like she was like doing a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah. And I was like, wow, that was really fun. Okay. So really, that show and then her obviously inspired me to change it to journalism.
So nice. So that's something that high schoolers can try to figure. They're trying to figure their way through and what they want to do. So these are some good ideas. Yeah. For students who, like they're on the debate team or like talk. Like you said, you wanted to be a lawyer, so you knew you wanted to, talk and things like that. So. Okay, you guys, you say you're 22 and you're 20. So, did you actually meet at college, or did you meet in middle school?
We met in middle school. We've been best friends since middle school. Really? Yeah. And then we went to different high schools, but then we got back in touch in college. We met literally in the elevator.
We still was friends.
We was. Why you gonna be best friends? Now you got no.
Okay, yeah. It was like 1 year where like the end of our senior year. So a few months. We didn't talk for
a few months. Okay, a few months. Yeah. And then we got back in touch. We went I met like in the elevator. Yeah. We was in the elevator. I said, Sierra.
Pitch me. She just
I pitched her in the elevator. I was like, what you doing here?
At UW?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I really wanted to. You guys were going to be going to the same.
No. Because I never planned to go to school in Milwaukee.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And so I like applied last minute because I'm like, no, I just want to do something. We both never wanted to.
I didn't want to go. Yeah, I didn't want
to be in
Jackson State.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know where I went to go. I just went to go somewhere else. And then my dad was like, it just gave, I couldn't leave. I couldn't like really.
He
wanted to stay here. And then he says last minute, like in August, you could have went somewhere else. I'm like, yeah, really?
Now that you say that.
But then I had planned to go to Marquette.
Okay.
Got accepted and everything. But they told me like, oh, you can't apply for scholarships until like next semester. So I would have had to pay that full tuition. And then no, I wouldn't.
So did you guys get scholarships for UW in Milwaukee?
Yeah, that's why I stayed in Milwaukee. I did not want to go. I had my mindset on going to a HBCU.
Right.
I had applied to different HBCUs and everything like that. I wanted their scholarships, but just because based off their funding, it's really hard to get scholarships from HBCUs.
Really?
Yeah, it was really hard during my senior year to get scholarships. I was on the phone for like hours with Jackson State talking to financial aid trying to get that. It was really hard to get scholarships with that. Basically, probably because of how the society is, it's like funding a lot of HBCUs. So it was really hard. I was disappointed when I didn't get a chance to go, but then I got into the program called All in Milwaukee, and they gave me an opportunity to choose any school in Milwaukee, and they'll pay for it for like 4 years. They put like $2,000 on it. So I was like, okay, I'll just do this. And I was going to do it for just 2 years.
Right.
But I ended up just falling in love with UW and the program, so I just did it.
Nice. So what's the name? Say the name of the
All in Milwaukee. That's where Dr. Howard Fuller Collegiate Academy, the high school, introduced me to that program. All in Milwaukee.
Nice, nice. So we were talking about that because my grandson is going there.
Yes.
So I'm excited that you love the school.
I love the school. It gave me a lot of opportunities there. Yes.
Nice. So you would recommend?
Yes, I recommend the school. It's a really good school.
Okay, because my daughter and I, we went to orientation, and I love the school.
Yes, it's a really good school. Dr. Howard Fuller, he's a great man, activist. Absolutely. He supports Black excellence. He supports the education system.
Absolutely.
So that's what made me. When I went to the school, it was over there. It was on 27th and Capitol. I was there during that time.
Was it a middle school then?
It was a high school. It was a high school.
Okay.
They just recently changed it into moved the school into a high school.
Okay.
Or to over in a different area. I don't know what the area is.
It's right off of North Van.
Yeah, now the older school on 27th and Capitol is the middle school, but that used to be the high school.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. So that used to be a high school. Very small area, but it was a good school. The principals were good there. The teachers were amazing. That's where I actually, my senior year, I figured out that I wanted to do journalism. The person they hired there my senior year, he used to be a professor.
Okay.
And I was like, he was just telling me about my writing, and he said he used to write articles of sports. And he was just like, maybe you should just go into journalism. I'm like, what is that? And he started teaching me about it. Like after classes, he would like teach me or whatever. And I was just like, he said, I think you should try it and stuff like that. And that's when I got into dual enrollment, which you do early college classes. And then I
What is
signed
the name of it again?
dual enrollment.
Dual enrollment.
Yeah, dual enrollment.
Okay.
For UWM courses, they do like dual enrollment for high school students where you can just to see what classes you like. And I did this gender and media class my senior year with Professor Eric Lohman. I will never forget it.
And this is at Dr. Howard Fuller?
This was at Dr. Howard Fuller.
Okay.
I did this class. And I did it. It was online, but it changed my perspective and everything. And I learned that was a JAMS journalism, advertising, and media studies course program. And I was like, after that, I was sold. I was like, I'm going there. I need to be in this course. It was amazing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you go through the same?
No. Okay, so I went to Vincent.
Okay.
And then I went to Milwaukee Children.
Yes.
At Vincent, I kind of got the same experience she got. Like, everybody's like, oh, it's a bad school. Yeah, it's a bad school. But they were, like, really on it when it came to scholarships and kids and their education. They would have these practices. They gave us scholarships almost every other day. The teachers was great. The relationship was great. And then I never heard about that program, but then I went to Milwaukee Lutheran, and it was just like a complete switch. Like the teachers didn't really care to remind you to do your scholarships. They wasn't really advocating for it. No, wasn't advocating for it.
But at Vincent they did.
At Vincent they did.
And so Vincent wasn't a bad school. It was the students were bad.
Yeah.
The school was good. And
the school was good.
So yeah, when you say the school was bad, it was just the students were.
Yeah. The students were just real rowdy. But that was also the same at Milwaukee Lutheran. Like,
my daughter
got. Yeah. So I was really bothered by that. I didn't like it off the bat because I was like, I just went from 4.0 students to now like 3.5 because they don't care to help the students out or tell the students what to do. And then I had to take a class. It was a college course class, an AP class. The one at Vincent was like, he had a unique way of teaching us to like help us not get bored.
What did you
do?
The
one that, it was like, it's a AP history class.
Okay.
And he was just like, he had a way with wording so that you don't get bored. But it was more like the Aztecs and the stuff. It was that type of history, whereas Milwaukee Lutheran was the USA history.
Right.
The history you learn every year in high school. And I was just so bored in the class at Milwaukee Lutheran because it was like, we know this stuff. Right. And then he just reading all boring. I hope you don't. Hey, shut! You gotta change. You gotta change your ways. But it was like so boring, and I'm like, this school is so like they don't care. And then I got to college, right? And I was asking her about the scholarship because I went to her with her to like the meeting. I'm like, why didn't we like get told about the scholarship? And she was like, you did. And so then I asked the teacher, and he said they only gave it to one student, and that student was a white boy whose dad was a teacher at the school.
And that was at Vincent.
That was at Milwaukee Lutheran.
Yeah, mind you, the scholarship is for
mainly for people of color.
Yeah, minorities.
And he's white. And his dad was working at the school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep. And I was like, they never told us nothing about that scholarship. Never said anything about it. Never like was like, hey, this is a program. If you do this, we have like after school things where you can come fill out scholarships. Didn't do none of that.
And what is the name of the scholarship again?
The All in Milwaukee.
All in Milwaukee.
Yes.
Okay. That's amazing that they have that available. I hate that they didn't.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they had it, but they gave it to.
They didn't want to say
it. Yeah, didn't
you
talk
would
about
think
it.
Milwaukee Lutheran, you would think that they would have, been more on it.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And people are like shocked when I say, they like always ask me, how do you feel about both schools? And I always say, I love the education at Vincent, but the environment is a bit better.
Yeah.
At Milwaukee.
And that's and you wouldn't think that though. Yeah. From the outside looking in, you would think that Milwaukee Lutheran would be more,
present in the teaching.
Yes.
Only few teachers that I gained a close relationship with, whereas Vincent, everybody was a family. Like and all the teachers was close with my family.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what advice would you guys give separately to high schoolers that are looking to get into journalism? What advice? Any advice that you would like to give them?
Journalism is just not like just one thing. It's so many
broad.
things. It's very broad. You can do so many things with it. So don't think like, oh, I have to write. I have to do this. I don't like writing. I don't prefer writing. I will do it, but I like to talk. I like to interview people. I like to record videos. It has videography. You can do behind the scenes. It's studio production. It's so many different areas in journalism you can do. It's not just all about writing. That's the advice I have is just like go out there, experience those things, and just try to dip your toe in there. It's not as bad as people think. It's not all the writing and stuff like that. Right. It's so much more than that. You get to travel. You get to speak to new people. It's really fun, actually.
And you can travel for free.
Travel for free, guys. Travel for free. People pay for your trips just for it to interview people, you know?
It's also tied to advertising and media. Yes, so you just don't get a degree for journalism. You get it for advertising
media.
And you can get in PR stuff, communications. You can get it for like social media stuff. Media studies. You get it like a podcast if you want to on your own podcast start like media studies.
Media studies. So that all goes together with the media studies, the journalism, and all of that. It's like kind of connected all together. So that's good to know. Yeah, that's good to know because a lot of them wouldn't know that. I didn't know. So you're telling me I didn't know that. So that's amazing.
I also would like to ask. Sorry if I'm
no, go ahead.
But she go to MATP, right? Their journalism program, like all of the production program, is like amazing.
Really?
Yeah, we both got the opportunity to like be one of their reporters for their news because they work with PBS News and they get a student section.
Shout out to MATC now.
Yeah,
MATC. I used to go to MATC.
Yeah, and I was just there today, and I was kind of like shocked by how much equipment they was provided, what they were learning, how hands on it was. We don't get none of that at UWM. And I kept reminding them, they're like, oh, you would think they would. No, just writing, just teaching and writing. But there at MATC was like hands-on, like putting us in front of the camera, making us report, making us interview.
More technical.
More experience. Yeah. Like actually teaching you hands-on what you would be doing. Whereas at UWM, they just teaching you how to write.
Yeah. They teach a lot of standard English, teach a lot of writing. They teach the basics of writing in journalism. But it's more to that though. We have to get out and like figure out the different aspects of journalism by getting in touch with people, making connections. That's when you realize like there is so much more to journalism. MATC definitely had all the technical things there. You had to be up front. It made me feel like I was a real journalist at the time. But I also brought in like the basic training of just like the standard English or just like the writing skills with that. So it was a good combination. I just wish UWM had it. They did have it before.
Okay.
They did, but the funding went down for it.
Oh, really?
So yeah, they don't have it anymore.
So was it a program that you guys went over to MATC to do, or did you just go visit and they just let you in? How did that work?
So I found out about the MATC now from one of my professors. She put an email out talking about, because they wanted some journalism students. They needed some anchors and everything. So she announced it in class and I was like, okay. Nobody signed up for it. Everybody just looked past it. I signed up for it. And then I got in contact with one of the directors and then we connected and I started doing shows with them all last semester every Monday. I started doing shows every morning with them. And then this semester was coming up. I couldn't do it. But I had somebody else. I was like, my best friend's a journalist. She can do it. So she got connected with them. And then now she's doing it now and everything like that. But it was from just like, sometimes they send out, MATC will come to us like, hey, do you have any journalists and stuff like that? Can you help us out? And they'll be like, yeah, I'll send it out like in the Canvas to see if they can do it. A lot of people don't really do it. I just signed up for it. I'm like, what? This is a good experience. A lot of people.
Right, that's so good.
Yeah.
That is so good.
Yeah, it was really fun. And I know why a lot of UWM kids didn't sign up for it because they're writers. It's a lot of writers.
Okay.
So I saw it. I said,
and this was
like
for anchors.
this was for anchors,
correspondents.
correspondent.
Yes. So you want to be upfront talking.
Yes.
You want to be okay. So which area does it matter, or does it, what you're more interested in?
I'm
like
interested,
weather or like just everything. No weather.
I don't know what's going on with the weather.
You gotta actually like know what you're talking about. Like,
I don't know
science
what's going on
and be able to tell them. Like you have to know.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna give everybody wrong information. Do not. I know about like the politics of it. I know the politics. I know how to. Usually, and the whole setting of it is a producer has a report. They go out and report on it. They come back. They say, "Hey, this is a report. I want you to read this off. Give me a transcript. I read it off, or I memorize it, and then I just give it out to the audience." So I'm just giving people the media in like with my voice. But usually, the producers are the ones who go report and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I also like the reporting part of it. That's pretty fun. So I will actually be interested in doing that and also doing news anchoring. So,
Nice.
Yes.
That's so good. Now I'm gonna get back to you about the advice that you want to give to the high schoolers around it. Anything that you'd like to say, even if it's piggybacking off of what she said, just what you think would be some good advice to give to the high schoolers about what you guys are doing. Just in case somebody's watching, a parent could be watching and telling their kids, I just want to help as many people as I can. So that's what the podcast is about. It's just telling your stories and just trying to help others, to get information out.
I feel like with journalism, you kind of don't get told the next step fully. Where I feel like we wasn't really told, the next step is you do this, and that. It's like a doctor, you finish your school, you become a doctor. But like journalism, they don't really, they leave out the parts of, okay, how do I get to be this person on TV? And so it makes you think like, oh, I don't know what the next step is, or you feel rushed. And I would say just have patience. Because I know just a couple of weeks ago, I was like, oh, I don't have no experience. Like, how are you going to get a job with no experience?
Right.
And then this role, the MATC role, came.
Everything lines up.
Yeah.
It's very spontaneous. Yeah. It's very spontaneous.
Just be patient.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
Yeah.
So let's get back to I just want to touch on it because that was interesting that you guys are best friends and you came from a house of just all women and you came from a home with a small, just you and your sister. Just like it's just me and my sister. And then you came from a home with 6 of you guys. And then a mother and a father in the home, still married. So I'm just wondering, what are your views maybe on futuristic like relationships? Maybe just I'm just trying to see the difference because of usually how we're raised and what we're around. Usually our views kind of tend to mold from what we were raised on. So I'm just trying to see.
You'd be shocked, but our view is literally
the opposite.
You think it's the opposite?
Our view,
on relationship,
y'all wouldn't win the game. If you play the game,
relationship, like dating relationship,
y'all wouldn't win
like
the game.
dating or just cut her mic off. No, dating relationship.
Yeah.
Well, what's the obvious? The man's supposed to cater to.
Yeah, the man.
Well, maybe ask us a question first, and then we'll see if you have the same answer.
Well, as far as what's your outlook on dating and the end result? I'll say it like that.
Oh yeah, marriage. We want to get married. Yeah, marriage. We believe in marriage. My family, even though I come from a single parent home, my mother was big on. She always used to tell me, "You will find your husband in college, Kira. You will find your husband in college, Kira. Just wait." She always told me this all my life, so I always think in my head like, "Okay, well, I'm going through college. I'm gonna find my husband. Eventually, I'm gonna meet him. I'm still a junior, so I'm gonna meet him." I don't know, husband, come on here. I need to get married. But she always told me like I would meet my husband in college. She was big on finding a husband and then having kids. She didn't want me to repeat the cycle with that. And I always had that in my head. So even though I came from like a single parent home, she embedded that in me. So it's like a natural thing. So yeah.
That's the same. My family, hers too. She didn't mention it, but hers too. We're like we believe in God.
Yes.
We're big
Absolutely.
on our relationship with God.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So obviously, marriage is that because I'm waiting until marriage.
Yeah.
Which is like it's not like, but yeah. So marriage is a big thing in our family. As far as like dating, I feel like dating, they kind of confuse talking with dating. And they don't understand it's kind of the same thing. It's like you dating this person, getting to know them, leading up to the relationship, and then the relationship leads up to marriage.
Right.
But girl, then that's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah.
I love it.
I don't know what she was talking about. I'm like, girl.
I love it. I love it. So nice. I just wanted to touch on that because because you guys are younger, you're 22 and you're 20.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in my 50s, so I'm out here in the baby. It's different for me. But so I was just wondering what you guys, thought about it and what was your views on it. So it's basically the
Dating
same.
to marry,
The same.
Yeah. Dating to marry, for sure.
Yeah, well, good. Well, we can close up, and I want if there's anything else you'd like to say, but I do want you guys, each of you, to just give a words of wisdom, a whisper of wisdom that you would give to everyone. It could be anything that you would like to say.
This is for my high school students. Stay encouraged. Be different. Be different. I came into journalism, people looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, what is that? Like, be different. It's okay to be different. It's okay to step out your comfort zone. Do things other people wouldn't expect you to do. Be a nurse. Be a technical production person. Do weird names. Do it. If it has a weird name in the industry or a weird job name, do it because I'm pretty sure you're gonna make a lot of money with that. But just do it. Like, don't be scared to step out your comfort zone. If you find something that you're interested in, keep going with that. Keep going. Do your hard work with it, and then eventually you will become successful.
That's a great advice because yes, I'm spoiling it. On the LA fire thing,
Yes.
the event,
Spoil it.
they were just mainly talking about like, oh, we should focus on the fires. Like, look at how she was the one that was actually like, oh, we should talk to the inmates. And she got that interview, and she talked to whoever she talked to. She got it. Yes, she got them there. Yeah,
You're gonna be. You're gonna be. Both of you guys are gonna be.
Do something different. I don't care. I'm weird. Do something weird because the weird make you money. I'm telling y'all. Do it weird. Do it. You go get that money on.
So we're closing, but I'm just curious to know, how did you do that? Like, what did you do? Who did you talk to? Where did you go?
Persistent. Oh my gosh.
Okay, go ahead.
So I was like, when they first told us about this assignment, he's like, okay, you have to find people and stuff. I'm like, okay. So everybody choosing all these other people. I'm like, y'all, like, I'm very quiet in class. Like, I like to focus. So I'm not gonna tell you what I'm doing. When I'm pop out with it, you're gonna see it. So I'm doing it. Yeah, when I pop out with it, you're gonna see it. So I'm doing it. I'm just looking up different stuff. I'm looking up the Malibu conservation camp. I got a contact with a former inmate that fell apart, but you don't give up. You keep going. So I kept researching. Now we researched the CEO of forestry camp for like incarcerated people and everything like that.
How did you reach out? Like email?
I found them on LinkedIn, and it was very hard to connect with them because
Inmates you found on LinkedIn?
No, the CEO on LinkedIn.
Oh, okay.
Not the inmates. Not the inmates.
It's a program.
It's a program.
Okay,
It's a program.
You have to go through. That's why I'm like, okay, how did you
I found the CEO.
Okay,
so
got you.
I'm emailing him. I'm doing all this. I'm LinkedIning him. No response. He's very like, he got verified, and he was having so much media like footage and media on him, publicity, that it was very hard to connect with him. He had interviews with CNN. He had interviews with Shaq. He had interviews with Shannon. It was so hard to get in. I said, yes. I was like, I cannot get in contact with him. Like, I cannot get in. I need.
You just kept going.
I was like, I need this.
Persistent.
Yes, I was persistent. I was like, I need him. I need him. I need him. And then his name was Royal Rammy. Shout out Chief Royal Rammy. Shout out to you. Thank you for that interview. And I was like, I need this interview. Like, yes, I need this interview. So I'm going back and forth emailing. And then I was searching, and I looked and found, I went on their website, and I was looking at all the workers there. And I found out who was the media person for that, the PR person. I contacted her. Shout out to Carrie. Thank you, girl. I emailed her. I was like, I sent the whole paragraph on my story and everything like that. That's a word of advice. Make sure you put so much sentimental in it, like they can't overlook it. Like
Yes,
I put
that's
in my
good
back.
advice.
Yes.
Good advice.
Put
That's good
be
advice.
sentimental. Don't just be a basic. Hey, can I? No, they want you to put your heart and soul in it
Your heart
because it's
into
gonna. They're not gonna look past it. They're gonna look at it like this caught my eye. So I
Yes.
made sure it had that in there.
Good
And
advice.
then she emailed me back like, "Hi, I think this will be a great opportunity." Boom. Told her when I'm coming to LA. Got it booked up. Met up there where he was at. Did an interview on camera. Went well.
Oh my
So yeah.
goodness.
Stay persistent, guys. It took a lot. It took me 2 days
Keep
to
going.
get that. Yeah.
Keep going.
Yes.
Keep going. I love that story.
Yes. That was my first. I cried after I got it. I said, "No, I didn't. Just booked him." Like, it was really good. I'm telling y'all, stay persistent, stay patient, but keep going. Like, even if it feels annoying, it's not annoying to them. They love that. They want to see that.
They want to see that you're serious about
Yeah.
what you. Yeah, that is so nice.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else that you would like to say?
Probably for the college students, one, be patient.
Yeah.
Well, not one, be patient. One, give it to God, and then two, be patient.
Yeah.
Because they might, it's a lot of college students that is like rushing the process. Like they want to get on campus, they want to do this, they want to do that, they want to pay bills. They like already like rushing. You gotta be patient, and then not look at somebody else's path that may be in the same path as you, and then compare it. We in different paths,
everybody has
but that don't mean That don't mean I'm supposed to compare my path with her path.
Absolutely.
Yes, I can look to her for help, which I love. I'm glad that I'm glad that we both in the same position.
Guys' friendship because you can bounce off of each other ideas and. There's no competition. It's just both of you want each other to win, and that's how it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be a competition. So that's so amazing.
Exactly. And then what do you look like making it a competition with somebody else?
Right. We need as much as us out there.
Yeah, they do that.
They don't want you to do better than them. They may applaud you, but they don't want you to do. And it's not that you're doing better than them. Like you said, you're just on a different path. Yeah. And so your path is on different levels.
On different levels.
It's like everybody's path is not the same. Everybody is totally
You don't know where y'all
different.
would end up. You don't know if they're going on their path and you trying to rush to beat up with them. You might not even be in the same spot as them.
Yeah.
Exactly. It may be you might be taken to a whole nother country. You never know. But you're too busy trying to figure out and catch up with or try to do what they're doing that you're missing your own blessings and your own path. So that's some good advice. So so you guys have your own podcast.
Yes.
It's the MMA.
What is it called, honey?
Minority Media Association. We basically cover the minority news because a lot of minorities don't get covered in the news. So whatever we feel like needs to be a bigger picture, we kind of put it out there.
Nice. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes.
So you were talking about missing children.
Yes, we do. We focus on. So we did a project. I was not in this class, so it was a class that happened last semester. That was called Missing People in Milwaukee, Missing Black People in Milwaukee. The class did a whole project, investigated different people in Milwaukee that were missing. They talked to the Milwaukee Police Department, and then we were just collaborating with our podcast. And we found out about this information from the professor who was the head of MMA, who was like the person who's supposed to, like, you're always supposed to have a professor.
So the podcast, I don't mean to cut you off. So the podcast that you guys are doing is through UWM.
It's through UWM. Yes.
Okay.
So the podcast is through UWM. So the professor came and told us about this project, and we were like, "This is very interesting." Like and its connection to us, like we're a Minority Media Association. So we're like, maybe we should do a panel. So we had this like just up in the air and stuff like that, and then next semester came, and we just put it into the works. We started picking the people on the panel who we were going to choose. We started making phone calls. We started getting connection with the students that did this project. We had somebody who come in, Caleb, to be a part of MMA because he had such a touchy relationship with this. He was very personal with this.
Yeah.
Shout out to Caleb. He's very good. So he came in and we started just talking about things, and then the panel was set up. The panel happened February 16th, I believe. And Black History Month.
So this past
February. It happened February 16th. And then the panel was with Tori Lowe, who is like an investigative reporter who grew out in Milwaukee. He came. Shout out to Tori. Thank you for coming. We had a former detective who worked with the Milwaukee Police Department. He's also now a professor at UWM in the criminal justice area.
Yeah, he teaches the class there.
He teaches a class there.
Okay.
And he also brought his wife, who is she's a psychologist, right?
Yeah,
She's
a
therapist.
Okay.
Yeah, for
one
mental,
of them. One of the others.
For mental health.
For mental health.
Okay.
So that was a plus. We didn't even know she was coming.
We
but
didn't
that
even
was a plus.
know, and she was just sitting there.
I was like, what? Get over here.
Come sit over here.
And then we had and then we had the students. We had Sharmika, we had Caleb, and we had Cal.
Yeah,
Cal. We had Cal.
And so all you guys were on the panel.
They were all
we
on the
were
panel.
the hosts.
We were the
of it.
hosts.
You were the host.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and then we introduced everything, and then the conversation. We gave them like a couple questions.
We gave them a couple questions, but they kind of like went on their
The flow
own
was
tangent.
so good.
We made sure to have like a poster, like a presentation in the background, like describing the people that's missing, because the whole purpose was to again advocate for missing people. Because they're not really showing.
Were they all children or were they?
It was really all over children, adults,
elders.
And this is all in Milwaukee.
Everyone,
in Milwaukee,
every single one in Milwaukee,
And
it's
they're
the whole
missing.
list. Yes, we can send you the link to the project they did. It's everything.
Yeah, and I will post it on my
every single missing person in Milwaukee is on there, and it's like it's going unnoticed. Like, why isn't this? It was from years ago, like 1990s and stuff like that. It's been missing since then. Why is it not out there? And come to find out, it's only one detective on all of these cases in Milwaukee.
Really?
And the missing person cases in Milwaukee district is only one detective.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. Only one.
And I need to post that link up there because that is bananas.
Yeah, they basically educated us on the different types of kidnaps, and the main one is now being involved with technology, like kids getting groomed and meeting up with
big
people. We mentioned Black men getting kidnapped and their mental health, because you don't really see that in the news of them being kidnapped. We had his wife come and talk about that a little bit. We asked more about the projects, and they kind of told us like, oh, well, we went and actually investigated and talked to the families, and the families was like, the police don't come to us. Really,
they found out more with the
they'll tell our story. They said the families was like, oh, they'll tell our story, but they wouldn't come communicate with us because they'd be scared at the fact of us being Black.
Right.
Yeah, and then what else? There was I don't want to say her name wrong. Sade Robinson. Her mom was in.
The one who.
Yeah.
Okay.
Her mom was there. She wasn't there, but we had like a Zoom that they can enter.
Yeah.
And she came through there, and she was kind of like advocating because they have this program, and I think the executive producer of that program was there instead. And we gave her a chance to speak and like talk about the program, and they like advocate for girls who's going through anything, like families whose kids have gone missing. It was just and then we had the news there. And then we gave the floor open for anybody to spread their testimony. And someone was mentioning that she was sex trafficked, born into sex traffic, and then here in Milwaukee,
so it was a young lady that was here in Milwaukee that talked about being sex trafficked in Milwaukee. And she was born into it.
And it was kind of because like she like was on this live stream, and she accidentally fell asleep, and when she woke up, there was like 6,000 people in there. And she ended up meeting some people, and later on she found out that they was a part of that stream, and they was like weirdos, and she was kidnapped, and she was sex trafficked, and now she's like popular, so she gets followed a lot, and they keep trying to like get her back because she's popular in the dark web. So she gets followed. It's constantly people trying to like get to know her, to try to get her to get back into it. And then another story in Milwaukee.
She said it's like a big organization.
People don't even know about it. And then another story she had was that when she was younger, this janitor that worked at her elementary followed her to her high school and worked at her high school. And she kept telling people about him, like, oh, she feels weird. And he kidnapped her and had her in his attic for 3 months.
What?
Yeah.
In Milwaukee.
In Milwaukee. Didn't hear nothing about this.
We didn't hear anything about this.
Didn't hear nothing about this. And Tori Lowe actually helped her find her sister. Her sister was kidnapped, and he helped find the sister, and the sister unfortunately passed. But the police didn't even help her. Nobody helped her.
They murdered her?
Yeah,
Yeah. Her body
her
was found in
sister.
the
Her
park,
sister was
right?
yeah.
And all of this happens in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Everything.
I definitely need the link up there because we have so many young women and men. And everybody needs to know what's going on. Like
Yeah.
this is shocking.
Yeah.
Like I see it in the grocery stores, you know, the missing. But what you guys are saying is that it's a whole ring
Yeah.
of people that are doing this to these children, and they have
Mhm.
a whole organization where this is what they do.
Yeah.
Grown people too.
Grown men.
Boys are starting to become the
Yeah,
target more.
that's more the target. Young men.
Young men. Tori Lowe had mentioned recently that now it's young boys being kidnapped.
Being kidnapped.
Yeah.
And so, did he say like, are they getting them from school, from off the bus stops, just like the malls?
It's
Like, where are they going? Did he
Social
say?
media.
Social
His main
media.
one, yeah, he mainly said it was social media.
So they're
So
getting
they
groomed.
pretending as
Yeah.
far as there's someone else, and then they.
Yeah.
And
And sometimes the police will like write stuff off as, oh, they ran away because one time the kid was at a cousin's house and they didn't know, or she was at a family member house. So because of that one time, when that same kid actually went missing, they would put it in the reports and be like it's a
Or the kidnapper would kidnap
Yep.
the kid for one time and then bring him back. Like that, they would bring him back. It's like a method, like cat and play, like the cat and dog. They will bring him back and they was like, oh, because they gonna report it as a runaway. It's that little phrase right there and put it on the person. It's bad because no, this person got kidnapped. It's not a runaway child. She was kidnapped and brought back. It's so when they label it as a runaway, the police are just gonna be like, oh, she runs away all the time. They just brush it off.
Put it in the record.
Mhm.
And
Until
then
finally
they
they
also,
get her.
Yeah. Yeah, but then they also made it a habit of where families would be scared to give them full information. So because of those families not giving them full information, they made it a habit to like not really investigate.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So listen, we have to protect our children in every way possible, and the internet and social media is just, you know, that's what the children are on now. So it's like, how do you really protect them when they have their phones? I mean, we can block certain things, but how do you really regulate it enough where they're safe? How do you have any? What did they say? What did
One thing that I heard somebody say was like the government has control over this. They are able to control how what are able to be accessed or not, like age limit, age requirement. Even if like there's ways for them to not do that. It's too much technology in here for these kids to have so much access to it.
It's so much access
where they can't. There's no prohibits. Like you're. It's a way to have requirements for things for them not to get in there. We're smart. We know what to do. They just don't do it. They make it just free for everybody to have access to it, and that's not the case. It shouldn't be like that. So I heard somebody say that, and I agreed. I was like, yeah, that's definitely something that should be talked about more in the government and politics. Is about how much access children have to social media and the internet.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's go to the root of it. As far as in the homes, in the families, what advice do you guys think or heard that the families can do, the parents can do to regulate this? Because if this is happening like this, you guys, we got to fix it. It has to be some way to protect our children. And I have grandchildren, so I want to know myself because I have, you know, older grandchildren that are always on social media, and so you know,
for me, it was more like my family didn't allow none of us to have phones until we was like 7th grade, 8th grade, and then by then it was already instilled in us to know you know better.
You know better.
So it was more so like in a few. I wouldn't say scared because obviously when you were a kid, you like, okay, I know better. I'm scared to like get in trouble.
Right.
But then as I grew up, it was more like a respect thing. It was kind of like, why would I even put myself in that situation when I know the questions that's gonna be asked?
Right.
I know that I know my parents will look at it like, now you know you was taught not to do that. I wouldn't want to disrespect them. I don't know. I guess it's just like the way I was raised.
And I think another thing is media literacy, which is not taught in
It's
education.
not really taught.
Kids who don't have that, the parent figure who grew up in the streets, they don't have that. They don't have parents to tell them stuff like that. So the kids like this, listen, media literacy needs to be in education. It needs to be taught in middle school. It needs to be taught in elementary school. It's a growth with it. It's a progress. You need to be taught that. It's not talked about enough until you get to college. I didn't figure that out until I got to college. That is bad. I shouldn't figure out media literacy and what it is in college. It should be taught in elementary, especially because these kids are like,
because you're going to school, you may
these
not
kids
have
are
that
smart.
parent.
Media literacy should be taught all around. Like it's not taught in education, and that's bad. It needs to be taught. So I think that has to do. That will definitely change. How
it should change because you're teaching us the same history lesson over and over and over and over and over. Like when you teach us about the media, like that would I think kids would actually pay attention if you was to sit there and talk about technology.
Yeah, that needs to be talked about.
So let me just ask you this: so with the kids that were getting kidnapped, I don't know. Maybe did you say where did they get kidnapped from? I mean, I know it started on the social media, but like, were they like? Because my grandsons, they're in sports. So was it like from the schools? Was it from the bus stops?
So it was mainly okay. So he said that they like to like movies and social media like to glorify the whole kidnap you in a van thing. So now when that happens, when your kids get kidnapped, the first thing you thinking, well, where was your kids? Was they by yourself? But the whole time they could have been taken by somebody that y'all are close with. Like it could have been a family friend. It could have been somebody, a teacher at the school that you didn't let your kid get close with. Oh, he was saying it was mainly like those type of situations, and it's becoming those more and more.
And they're actually in this organization, but you just don't know it, and they're in the schools,
or they just sick. Because he mentioned how one family, the family had asked him to find their daughter, how she ran away. They don't know where she is. He found the daughter. The daughter was with a family member, and she was like, he had asked her, well, why won't you come home? And she told him that the mom's boyfriend had been touching her. And the mom knows. And he had went back to the mom and had to get the mom arrested and the boyfriend.
Wow.
Yeah. So usually it's situations like those where it's like it's people you letting in your house.
People that you know, people that's around you already that are sick in the mind.
Right. And you're not thinking that because one, that's your family member, and two, the whole time you over here like, well, she probably got kidnapped by a stranger more than by my family member.
Right.
Wow.
Or it's like voluntarily some student they get groomed and they was like, meet me outside. They just walk outside. I remember one story, a girl snuck up the window. Met the boy, went in the car, and just drove off. Found him in like Indiana or something, laying in the bed.
Across the, I don't want to say across the country, but she was in a whole completely different state.
Indiana, she found out they was in Indiana. He went to jail, and it was just like, what? Like she voluntarily went, but he groomed her to be like that.
Yeah.
So
and he was a friend of the family.
No, just a grown man. She met on the internet. Snuck out the window to go to his car. Took her to Indiana.
Yeah. And a lot of young girls have that, like, that mentality of want to have love from a man. Yeah, so because they put it out there so much in social media, it's like love, dating, men, women, you gotta be with somebody. Like you can't be alone. So they have that mentality from the internet. So they think, oh, he likes me, he loves me, because he's saying cute things to me. Oh, he loves me. I'll go with him. He's gonna take care of me. No, it's not. It's not like that.
And now you're saying this with the boys, because I mean, everybody wants love, regardless if you're a male or a female. So now the men there and the young boys, they want love too. And so they're, whoever, you know what I mean? Wow. So we're definitely going to put that link up there, you guys. Yes. Thank you so much for coming. This was so informative, and I am just outdone.
This is good.
Yeah, we felt sick to our stomach at the end of
that. Oh my gosh.
I was trying not to cry. I'm talking.
Yeah, I'm stuttering.
I'm over here like.
Well, you girls are amazing. Thank you again so much.
Thank you.
And,
bye.